In this particular video, I'll be reading the hand of Elton John, the famous songwriter, pianist, composer, singer, and we'll be talking about many other aspects of his life as well, his bisexuality, uh, and he was a gay, and this one question basically comes up repeatedly. No book basically tells us, no palmistry book tells us uh, how to say if a person is a gay or not. So we are going to basically see in this, we'll try to see in this particular hand. I would give few reasons. You may agree with it, or probably you might not agree with it. But let's see. And so this is the hand basically we are seeing. One of the best kind of hands for a person who is an artist. This is the best hand. The reason why I say so is because you would say that there's lots of padding that you see on the mount of Venus, and at the same time, this is the area of Moon. This is the area of visualization and romance and imagination. So a person who is a songwriter needs to be extremely imaginative, and the person needs to be a great lover uh, if he's writing the songs of love. So in that case, it is more required compared to other kind of music. Uh, so in this way, we find that the area is well padded. That means these particular qualities are there in abundance. The first part is that. The second part is that the Mount of Venus is highly prominent, like highly well padded. By prominent, we mean that it's padding. What padding means is it's like imagine it to be like a mattress with 1 inch or 2 inch or 5 inch or 10 inch, like the mattress. More the bigger the padding, the more the qualities basically the person has. So the Mount of Venus basically depicts grace and beauty and art and music and understanding of all these things basically together. This area basically, whenever we see good, the possibility is that the person might have all the vices, but at the same time these people are great lovers. They can give great amount of energies to people. They can give huge amounts of love to people. So this is a thing to see, and it's perfectly shown in his hand. As far as his headline goes, this is basically the headline. I just redraw it. This is the lifeline, and this is the headline that is coming real close together uh, with the line of head and line are joined together for a long duration of time. So whenever these lines are joined together for a long duration of time, it means very cautious person, shy person, hardworking person. So I did read his Wikipedia, and it mentions that uh, he his father was very he didn't approve of his career, although even he liked the music part. Uh, his father wanted him to be in some other field, but he preferred to be in the music field. So he mentions that he had a restrictive childhood, and that is why he used to wear those crazy, fancy kind of clothes. So this is one part which is shown with the head and the lifeline both joined together at the start. Uh, these people are shy. These people contemplate 100 times before basically they act. This is what the palmistry is showing. I'm not saying what his nature might have been, but this is what palmistry is saying. And at the same time, the headline is also drooping deep down towards the mount of moon. See, whenever it is really digging deep down towards the mount of moon, it basically signifies that the whole mental inclination the mind is totally like targeting towards the moon. Moon is basically for imagination, visualization, and romance. So his whole mind is always uh, towards these particular aspects and how to improve upon, uh, or how to give something which and nobody has basically imagined, like something new, because moon has these different phases each day. So the moon is changing every day, so it means that a person who has a headline drooping towards the mount of moon would be constantly basically changing, and these people could be highly moody, and at the same time, when this line basically digs really deep towards the mount of moon. Moon is also for madness. So madness should not be only seen in that traditional term that the person is mad, but uh, it is making a person more impractical. uh, but the imagination, some people, they are able to apply to their field of work, and they are the best. The headline that droops towards the mount of moon is also seen in the hands of artists. Not every artist is going to have this kind of a line. See, normal kind of artists, they might just have a straight line of head, but those artists that do have the headline drooping towards the mount of moon is one of the best sign, because they kind of reinvent things, and they are able to bring out things ahead of their times. And that is the reason we would say that it is, if seen in the hands of an artist, it is considered to be good. But at the same time, I would also mention that Pele, the football player, also had this drooping headline towards the mount of moon. So he had a few marriages, and at the same time, if we say any person to be the artist of football, so we only consider Pele to be the only person who is considered to be the artist with the game football. Uh, so now going back to the other aspect of his life, that is regarding the sexuality part. Uh, uh, Elton John came out as a bisexual in 1976 interview with one magazine, Rolling Stone. Uh, so, so regarding this, we would be questioning, like, how do we see that possibility of the person being bisexual? Uh, there's no clear-cut way to see, but at the same time, when a mount is extra prominent, see, extra prominent means a very well padded mount, and uh, it might have a few wrong kind of signs as well, like crisscrossing lines. I don't see in this particular hand, because this is the only image I have, so I'm basing everything, my reading, on the limited uh, hand quality image I have. But if a person has got a good mount, super good mount of Venus, what it does, it makes our personal life special. Uh, so a person need not be a person who has got a very good prominent mount of Venus might not be gay, but he's just a lover. So love can basically go into extreme also. So this is one aspect that might be seen with a very prominent mount of Venus. In other hands, if somebody else had like a very prominent mount of Venus, I could have just said that the person has got good taste. The person could be very good at tailoring, or the person could be very good at singing, or maybe a very good artist, or a person who makes very good food, uh, or a designer. So anything related to beauty and grace, those, or love, or related to love, can come with this particular line, this particular area highly developed. The other aspect is that he also uh, like had eating disorder. So regarding eating disorder, we would like I'll try to reason out that because the area is highly developed, so probably the desire to uh, have rich food might have been there to the extreme. So the person, it is said that he had Bulimia, which is basically a condition where the person overeats, and then basically uh, it means that he has to uh, like he has to like kind of bring out all the food outside, like that thing. So so that eating disorder was there, so probably the amount of Venus is highly prominent. This could be one of the reasons. He also uh, did had cocaine overdose at one particular by 1997. The pressure of stardom had begun to take a serious toll on him, so somewhere around that he had uh, cocaine overdose. So we can see that the person had those vices regarding the higher form of uh, like intoxication. So but it need not be that every person who has a very prominent amount of Venus would always be into something like this. Probably he was in a music line, there the pressures are more, that is, and the availability is also there. So mixing everything together, he kind of had those things. There also is a possibility that probably if the hand is extremely soft, I can't make out if it is soft or not, but I can just guess that the hands are soft, because softer hands become more sexual and sensual, and they try to gratify all the senses. So in that aspect also, we may say that this might have been the reason why uh, he was into cocaine. Uh, the one another aspect we have to look right from the amount of Venus itself. Uh, See, I just read somewhere that was born on 11th, and the same surrogate mother, John, also had 10 grandchildren, including Sean, Lennon, John, and Victoria Beckham's son. So all these things, it mentions that 10 godchildren. See, a person, and not everybody would want this thing, but out here, because the person has got huge amount of love. See, now love comes in the form of giving love to people around you. So this could be the reason a person who has got a good prominent amount of Venus would want to give love to everybody. Would give love to his parents, or sister, or brother, or love life, or general public. So so huge amounts of love is there, and the person is like pouring out love to everybody. So this could be the reason why uh, he had this 10 grandchildren, godchildren. uh, so I have covered a few things now. One more thing remains, that is that he says in 2000 that he admitted to spending 30 million pounds in just 2 years, an average uh, of 1.5 million pounds a month on basically he spent on property, flowers, 2,93,000 on flowers. Just imagine the amount he has spent on these things. And he spent on expensive cars. He had many cars, but he later sold all those things. So a person, this is the area of desire. This is the area where the person taste basically comes up. So a person who has a prominent amount of Venus would want to accumulate all those things in his life, and that's the reason he basically accumulated. One more aspect needs to be told is that he started performing at parties and family gatherings at the age of 7. uh, like uh, that's the time, at the really early age he had the natural inclination to go towards music. So Whenever we find a person to have a good amount of Venus, would these people could do very good in the field of caring, or they could do in the field of love, or in the field of music or art. Uh, so anything to do with beauty and grace, be it singing or piano or any musical instrument would come. At the age of 11, he won a junior scholarship to Royal Academy of Music. So you can just imagine that from this early age, uh, he was actively into this particular field. One last thing I would like to mention, that is regarding his heartline. The heartline ends on the mount of Saturn, uh, and a line that ends on the mount of Saturn indicates that the person manages money well, the person targets towards money, the person wants huge amount of money, and the person he was one he was the he came in the first 30 rich people in UK. So you can well imagine that whenever we see whenever we find whenever we see that the life the sorry the heartline is ending somewhere close to the amount of Saturn, the person would be good at managing money. The person would be wanting more physical love. The person would also attract money towards them, and the person could also be wise, because Saturn depicts all these qualities. Uh, One more last thing is seen that every person who has these well paddings, they do have a huge amount of qualities, and these qualities needs to be used. And Not every person is going to become super rich, having even a similar hand like this. But if these people like kind of go towards their passion or their love, or towards what they do, or they are guided towards these particular things, and they're there at the right time, at the right moment, things are going to be excellent for them. So that's it for this particular reading. I hope you like this particular video. If you like this video, click on the like button and do subscribe to my channel. Bye and take care.